Yes. Good morning, everyone. So today we'll take down few more problems on resultant of multiple forces, and we have few different cases also. So some typical problems are there. Okay, so we'll take down all those things. So you can write down that determine the resultant of four forces acting on the body shown in figure. Determine the resultant of forces acting on a body shown in figure. Okay, so we have x and y axis. Okay, this is our y, x axis, and totally we have four forces. One is 300 newtons, acting at an angle of 30 degrees with x axis, and another force is 224 newtons, which is acting in second quadrant. 224 newtons, and the angle is not given, it is given as we have triangle, this is 2 and 1. Okay, and another force which is acting in third quadrant, and this angle is 60 degrees, and magnitude is 200 newtons, and another force is 390 newtons, 390 newtons, and the angle is 5 by 12. 512. Okay, these are the forces acting on a body. 1, 2, 3, 4 forces are acting on a body, and we have to calculate the resultant. How will you calculate resultant? The very first thing is, whenever we have inclined forces, we'll try to calculate all the components of forces. After calculation of components of forces, then we'll go for sigma x square. Resultant is equal to under root sigma x square plus sigma y square, isn't it? Sum of all vertical components and sum of all horizontal components. Sum of sigma y is equal to sum of all vertical components, and sigma x is equal to sum of all horizontal components. Okay, so we'll name, before that we'll name these forces. So we'll name this force as P, this force as Q. Don't take R. Okay, R is exclusively for resultant. This force as T, and this force as F. All right. Yes. So what we will do, we'll try to first calculate the angles, or before that we'll solve the problem. So what is the first force we have? We have P is equal to how much? 300 newtons. 300 newton, and theta, let this be theta 1, this angle be theta 2, this angle be theta 3, and this angle be theta 4. Alright, all thetas. And what about theta 1? Theta 1 is equal to 30 degrees. And what is the, this theta is making an angle of 30 degrees with which axis? X axis. Okay, so now what will happen? Px is equal to P cos theta 1, and Py is equal to P sin theta 1, isn't it? So Px is equal to P. What is P we have? 300. Theta 1, cos theta 1, so cos 30 degrees. So Px is equal to, you will get some value in newtons, isn't it? Next we have Py. What is the value of P we have? 300. into sine theta 1 is 30 degrees. So Py also will get some value in newtons, isn't it? Next we have another force, that is 224. Q is equal to 224 newtons, and we have a triangle there. Okay, so how your triangle is? It is like this. So this is 2, 1, and this is theta. So what will happen to this one? This is your hypotenuse, isn't it? So what will happen to this value? Or else we can directly calculate tan theta. Tan theta is equal to, tan theta 2 is equal to, tan theta is equal to 1 by 2, isn't it? 1 by 2. So theta 2 is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 2. So what is the value of tan inverse of 1 by 2? You will get some value, okay, in some degrees. So now again, Qx is equal to Q cos theta 2 and Qy is equal to Q sin theta 2. So this angle is 26.57. All right, theta 2 is 26.57 degrees we are getting. Now this part is different. So Qx is equal to, Q is 224 into cos theta 2. What is cos theta 2? Cos 26.57 degrees. So Qx is equal to, you will get some value but in negative sign, isn't it? Alright, Qx you will get in negative sign. Why? Because x is negative in the second quadrant. What about Qy? Qy is equal to Q sin theta 2 as I have mentioned here. So 224 into sine theta 2 is how much? 26.57 degrees. So you will get some value in newtons Qy. Alright. So Q, we have completed how many forces? P and Q. Now we will move for T, isn't it? You can copy down this one. Values you write down, you can calculate, okay? And in one problem, in the previous problem, I don't know, somebody has texted me that there is some, instead of taking 5 by 12 or 12 by 5, I have taken something different there. So you make it a correction, or else if you have done the problem, if you have solved the problem in a proper fashion, then send it to me a PDF, okay? I'll share with the students, or else you can share in the group as well, directly. Copy down this one. Next, we'll go for another force. The third force is T is equal to 200 newtons and theta 3 is equal to 60 degrees with which axis? X axis. In the previous case also, theta is with x axis. Okay, see here it is with horizontal. If I would have taken from here, then the theta will be with y axis, isn't it? So Tx is equal to T cos theta 3. So Tx is equal to, what is the value of T? 200 into cos 60. Tx you will get some value in negative sign since it is in third quadrant, and along with that you will get Ty, which is equal to T sin theta 3. So T is how much? 200 into sine 60 degrees. So Ty is equal to, again you will get in negative sign this value also. Alright, next we have another force which is F is equal to 390 newtons. 390, and for that also we don't have any angle, so directly we can calculate angle, that is tan theta 4 is equal to height by base, right? So this is opposite, and this is adjacent. So what will happen to this one? Theta 4, 12 by 5. So theta 4 you will get some value as theta 4 as 67.38. okay, 67.38 38 degrees. With which axis? X axis. See here, with horizontal line. Theta 4 is with horizontal. So now Fx is equal to F cos theta 4, that is Fx is equal to F is 390 into cos 67.38. So Fx is equal to, you will get some value in positive sign, whereas Fy is equal to F sin theta 4. So what is the value of F? We have 390. Fy is equal to 390 into sin theta 4 is how much? Sin 67.38. So Fy is equal to, we'll get some value in negative sign in newtons. Okay. So this is how we calculate all the components. We all know this one. After that, we'll go for the final resultant. Okay. If at all, because see, if I made any kind of mistakes, okay, sometimes it may happen, because I am also a human being, so it may happen instead of taking like that. So you may contact me, or you can correct me also. Okay. So this is how we calculate. Now after this one, you copy down this one clearly. Then we'll go for the components of resultant of all the forces. Now how will you calculate resultant? We can calculate resultant with the help of this formula, isn't it? Resultant R is equal to under root sigma x square plus sigma y square. So what is sigma x we have? Sigma x is equal to, we have the value of px plus qx plus tx plus fx. So this may be negative and this may be negative, isn't it? This value, these values, you will get negative sign there. So whatever the signs you have, you have to put that one. So you will get the value in newtons. Then you will get sigma y. So sigma y is py plus qy plus ty plus fy, which is equal to, you will get some value in newtons. Okay. After that one, what about resultant? Resultant is equal to under root sigma x square plus sigma y square. What about theta? Theta is equal to tan inverse of sigma y by sigma x. In some textbooks, what happens? It may give you sigma h and sigma v, or else it may give you sigma any vertical component or horizontal component. You can take any of these two things. Okay, either sigma x is equal to 0 or sigma y is equal to 0. Both are same. Okay, so this is how we calculate the resultant for these type of forces. Okay, now we'll go for another problem. Since again this other problem is also almost the same, so we'll skip this problem and we'll go for the next problem. Yes. Something is happening here. So we'll take down one more problem. The force system shown in figure has a resultant of 200 newtons. Has a resultant of 200 newtons. And in this problem, resultant is given, okay, 200 newton, pointing up along y axis, pointing up along y-axis. The resultant is acting exactly in vertical direction. Compute the values of f and theta required. Compute the value of f and theta. So this is one different type of problem wherein resultant is given and we have to calculate force. Okay, so again we have x and y axis, we have this y axis and we have one x axis. Okay, and there is one force which is in first quadrant, F, and this is theta. We don't know F and theta, and along with that we have one more force which is in fourth quadrant, and the magnitude of this force is 240 newtons. 240 newtons, and it is making an angle of 30 degrees with x-axis. We have one more force which is going in exactly horizontal direction, in this horizontal direction. This is 500 newtons. Okay, this is my x-axis, y and y. Okay, now we have one force which is going in exactly horizontal direction, another force in fourth quadrant, one more force in this direction. We have one resultant also. Resultant is it has mentioned that it is going exactly in upward direction. In upward direction, resultant is going in. This is resultant. Resultant is going in exactly upward direction. So what do you mean by this one? Sigma. See, we have a formula. We have formula for resultant. What is the formula for resultant? We have sigma x square plus sigma y square, isn't it? So the meaning of this resultant is, since the resultant is going in exactly upward direction, so what will happen to the x component? X component will become 0. X component will become 0, and this value will be will have some value. So as I told you, when the force is exactly in horizontal direction, then vertical component will be 0. Similarly, when the force is in vertical direction, exactly vertical direction, then horizontal component of that particular force will be 0. So same thing is happening here. Resultant is going exactly in upward direction. That is why what will happen? Sigma x will become 0. Sigma y will have some value. Okay, and sigma y will be equal to, if you resolve this one, what will happen? R is equal to under root, this is 0 plus sigma y square. What will happen to R? This is sigma y square. This and this will get cancelled. So what will happen to R? R is equal to sigma y. Able to understand? So resultant is equal to sigma y. Why this condition is coming? Because vertical component R is exactly in acting up along y axis. That is why R is equal to sigma y. So the same condition will be using here for calculating this value, for calculating f and theta. Alright. So we'll start from the components again. So without components we cannot solve the problem. So this will be fx and this will be fy, and this will be, we'll name this force as P. Okay, so this will be px and this will be py. Alright, so this is theta, so we'll name this as theta 1. 30 degrees is equal to theta 1. So what I will do, I will take the value of fx. We don't know f, right? So f is equal to how much? I don't know. Similarly, theta is equal to, we don't know. We don't know anything, right? So, but we know fx is equal to f cos theta, right? Fx is equal to f cos theta. Why? Because theta is with x-axis. Similarly, fy is equal to f sin theta. This also we know. we don't know the values. We know the formula, right? So that is how the formula comes. Now we'll go for another force. What is this force? Let this force be T. Okay. Since there is no angle, so what will happen to this force? Tx is equal to T, which is equal to 500 newtons. Since the force is horizontal, as I told you before also, when the force is acting exactly in horizontal direction, then vertical component will be 0. So see here, Tx, it is going in negative x direction. So what will happen to Tx? Tx is equal to, I can write here, minus 500 newtons, isn't it? Next, what about Ty? Ty will be 0. Y component, we don't have y component for this force. We have only x component for this force. Since it is going in, why it is going? Why we don't have a vertical component? Because the force is going exactly in horizontal direction. Next we have another force, that is P, which is equal to 240 newtons, 240 newtons, and theta 1 is equal to 30 degrees we have. So what will happen here now? Px is equal to 240 into cos 30, isn't it? Now what about Py? Py is equal to 240 into sin 30. Px is positive, you will get some positive value in newtons, and Py is equal to, you will get some negative value in newtons. Why? Because it is going in fourth quadrant. Okay, negative value. Now we'll start with sigma x is equal to sigma x. So what is sigma x we have? Sigma x is how much? We know sigma x is equal to 0 there, right? So sigma x is equal to 0. So we will take sigma x is equal to, what are the forces we have? Fx, f cos theta. Then here it is going in negative x direction, so minus 500, isn't it? Then we have Px. Px is going in positive x direction, so plus, what is the value of Px we have? For the value of Px, we can go for, so otherwise we will write here directly the same value, that is 240 into cos 30. So if you resolve this one, and this is equal to 0, sigma x is equal to 0. So we can write here f cos theta is equal to, by solving this one, you will get the value as 292.15. 292.15. We can name this as equation number 1. Alright. So now we will go for sigma y is equal to 0. Okay. You can copy down this one, or else I will write here. Sigma y is equal to 0. So what is sigma y we have? Sigma y is f sin theta. And here in this one we don't have y, so it is 0. Then we have here with some value, that is minus 240 into sin 30 equal to 0. So I can write here f sin theta is equal to 240. If you send there, it will become positive 240 into sin 30. Okay, we'll name this as equation number 2. We have here two values. See, two equations, f cos theta, f sin theta. If you divide these two terms, if you divide equation 1 by 2, what will happen here? You see, f, otherwise equation 2 by 1, equation 2 divided by equation 1. So what will happen? F sin theta, you write this equation 240 sin 30, 240 sin 30 divided by, we have equation number 1, that is f cos theta is equal to 292.15. So what will happen? This f and this f will get cancelled. You will get tan theta. So finally you will get theta value as 47.6 degrees. 47.6 degrees. So once you got theta, we can substitute the value of this theta in equation number 1, f cos 47.6 degrees then you send this cos theta value towards right hand side, you will get the value of F as how much? 433.3 newtons. Okay, this is how we calculate our forces when resultant is given and your magnitude is not given, I mean force is not given. Okay, this is how we calculate. Yes, one thing we have missed here, that is sigma y here is not equal to 0. Sigma y is how much there? It is, sigma y is 200 newtons. Sigma y is 200. So here also you will get is equal to 200. Okay, so here you have to change this value, you will get some different value here. So that is F sin theta is equal to 200 divided by 240 into sine 30 degrees. Okay, so once you solve this one, you will get these values. Okay, just make a small correction, that is sigma y is not equal to 0, sigma x is equal to 0, but sigma y is how much we have calculated previously, that is sigma y will be 200. Okay, that is what is, just to make a correction. So the values will be coming like this, that is F is equal to 433.33. Now we will take down another problem. Another problem is also almost one and the same, since in the previous problem, in this problem resultant was going in y direction, now resultant will go in x direction, we have to calculate one force. Okay, the same thing, just this correction is needed. Okay, sigma y is equal to 200. Now after this one, we have one more problem, that is the force system shown in figure has a resultant of 400 newtons acting along positive x direction, one of the force is unknown, and its magnitude is shown in figure. And we have to determine the unknown force P along x axis. Okay, determine the force P which is acting along acting up to the left. Okay, so we'll draw the quadrants here. This is x and y axis. And we have one force which is acting in first quadrant, and magnitude is 100 newtons, angle is 30 degrees. Fine. Next we have one force up to the left. The force P is acting up to the left. It is shown in the question there. This is P. And what about theta? Theta is also not given to us. We have to calculate theta also. Theta. There is one more force, 400 newtons, which is acting in at an angle of 45 degrees with x-axis. Then we have only one more force is there. One more downward force is also there, which is 100 newton. This is y-axis. This is x-axis. Y, x. So one more thing. It has mentioned that the resultant is acting exactly in positive x direction. The resultant is acting in positive x direction. Resultant is acting in positive x direction, and the intensity of the resultant is also given, that is 400 newtons. This is your resultant R, which is equal to 400 newtons. 400 newtons. Resultant is going along positive x direction. Resultant is going here. This is your resultant. Okay, this is not force, this is resultant, the final result. Okay, so now we have to calculate our force P and theta, the same thing in the previous problem which we have carried out. Okay, now for this problem, resultant is going in exactly horizontal direction. So what will happen? Sigma x square, sigma y square, sigma y will become 0. So R will be equal to sigma x, isn't it? Square and root will get cancelled. So depending upon this condition, we have to calculate our value of P. Okay. So before that, we'll take down the components, all the components, each and every component. How will you calculate components? Let this force be P, and this force be T, and this force be F. Okay. So this is Px, Py. Again, this is Px and Py. And for this one, we don't have Fx. Why? Because this force is going in exactly downward direction, so horizontal component will be 0 for that. And this one also will be having Py and Px. So now tell me the components of P. P is equal to 100 newtons and theta is equal to how much? 30 degrees with x-axis. Now we'll name this one as theta 1. This is theta, so this is theta 2. Okay. For F we don't have any theta, so we'll name this as theta 1. So what will happen to Px? Px is equal to P cos 30 and Py is equal to P sin 30 degrees. So Px, P is 100 into cos 30, and what will be the value of Px now? You will get some value in positive sign. Now Py is equal to P sin 30. P is how much? 100, isn't it? 100 into sin 30. So Py is equal to, you will get some value in newtons. Next we will go for P. So P is over. Okay, this is P, no? So we'll name this force as, instead of P, we'll name it as Q. Q qy. Okay, since this is p, so we cannot make that as p. So I am changing this one, that is q, qx, qy, qx, qy. This also you will get qx and qy. Okay, so qx, qy. Now we will go for p. Px is equal to what will happen? Minus p cos theta, and py is equal to p sin theta. This is what we know. We don't know anything further because theta is also unknown. P is also not known to us. Now we will go for this one. We will name this as t. Always I am writing p here. So instead of p, we will write here tx and ty. So what will happen to tx? Tx is equal to t cos 45 and ty is equal to t sin 45. So 400 into cos 45 and ty is equal to 400 into sin 45. Okay, and tx will be minus value, you will get some minus value in newtons, and similarly ty is equal to, you will get some minus value in newton because it is in third quadrant. Next we have f. Then for that f we have fx is equal to 0. Why? Because it is going in exactly downward direction. But what about fy? Fy will be minus 100 newtons. So fx is equal to 0 for that force. Fy will be minus 100. Why? Because it is going in downward direction. Now we can go for sigma x is equal to. Sigma x is equal to, see in the previous case, since the resultant is going in horizontal direction, and what is the value for resultant? 400. Resultant is 400 there. R is equal to sigma x, isn't it? So sigma x, we can take down the values of qx plus p cos theta plus or minus whatever may be the values. Tx is t cos 45 or 400, whatever the value you will get, cos 45. Fx is 0 is equal to how much? 400. Once you resolve this one, what will happen? You will get the value in terms of theta, cos theta. Similarly, when you go for sigma y is equal to 0. So there, what will happen here? You will get some value of our qy, then p sin theta you will get there, then we have plus ty, then we have minus fy is equal to 0. You will get all the values. Again you will get the equation in terms of theta. So equation number 1, equation number 2, equation 2 divided by equation 1, you divide it, you will get the value of theta. Substitute the value of theta in any of the formulas, you will get the value of p. Okay, any values, anywhere here also you can substitute. If you substitute theta here, you will get the value of p. Okay, this is how we calculate our unknown forces with the help of resultant, when the resultant is going in exactly horizontal direction or vertical direction. Alright, so after this one, we have one more problem. So you can copy down this one so that we can go for that. So here we have one more problem. The block is resting on an inclined surface again, and the inclination of this one is 30 degrees. This is 30 degrees. So if you read out the question very carefully, the block shown in figure is acted upon by its weight 400 Newton. The weight of the block, always remember, the weight of the body will act exactly in downward direction. Whether the surface is inclined or horizontal, what will happen? The weight of the body will act exactly in downward direction. Okay, and there is one more force, F is equal to 600 Newton, and a pressure P. There is one more pressure from the ground or the inclined surface, which is acting at an angle of 45 degrees. Okay, and one more thing exerted by the inclined plane. The next sentence, if you read out, the resultant of the force of these forces is parallel to the inclined. So what do you mean by that? The resultant, what is the, see there are three forces acting on the body, then what is the resultant? Resultant is acting along the resultant is parallel to the incline. So what do you mean by parallel to the incline? Parallel means it is in going in, the resultant is going in x direction, the resultant is going in x direction. If the same sentence, the resultant of these forces is perpendicular to the incline, if the value, if the sentence will be like this, it is perpendicular to the incline, that means it is going in, the resultant is going in y direction. But here in this case, since the resultant is going in parallel to the incline x direction, then what will happen? Rx or sigma x will exist, whereas sigma y will not exist. Able to understand? Resultant is going in x direction. So resultant, when resultant goes in x direction, what will happen? Sigma y will be 0. Okay. So the same thing, what I will do, I will try to draw the figure. The figure is very, very important. So what I will do, I will draw my regular x and y axis. This is regular x and y axis, isn't it? We'll try to draw this xy axis in a dotted form, since it is not according to our problem, isn't it? So this is our regular xy axis, okay, general xy axis, and this is y, okay. Now here, if you see here, we have vertical forces, exactly horizontal and vertical forces. Along with that, we have one force which is acting inclined to the vertical, isn't it? Our original one. So what I will do, I will try to draw first forces, then I will try to rotate my x and y axis, okay. So we have one force which is going in x direction, that is F. F is how much? 600 Newton, isn't it? Next we have one more force which is W, which is going in downward direction. This is W. (400 newtons). Then we have this force. Now tell me, if you draw a horizontal and a vertical line, where this force is acting? It is acting in which quadrant? It is acting in second quadrant, isn't it? So here the force is going in second quadrant, and this force is P. We have to calculate P, and along with that we have angle with y axis. This is vertical line, so this vertical line is 45 degrees. This theta is given to us, that is 45 degrees. Now what I will do, we have here x and y axis, xy axis, we have x and y axis, isn't it? Now I will try to rotate my x and y axis in anti-clockwise direction at an angle of how much? 30 degrees. So what I will do, I'll rotate this one . Now this is my x axis. This axis I have rotated at an angle of how much? 30 degrees. This is also 30 degrees. Now since my x axis is rotated, what will happen to y axis? Y axis will also get rotated, isn't it? Now since this is 45 degrees, 30 degrees will be less than 45, isn't it? So x will come somewhere here, y will come in this fashion. This is y axis, and this y axis is according to our problem, okay. So now see here, this is 45 degrees and this is 30 degrees, isn't it? This one also 30 degrees. Now what I will do, I will remove my this axis, the regular x axis which we have drawn initially, okay. Now you tell me, where is our x and y axis? Xy axis is here, isn't it? X, y. and our resultant is going in x direction. Okay, x direction. Resultant R is parallel to the incline. Right. Now we'll try to calculate our components. See here, this force, this P is acting in which quadrant now? It is again in second quadrant only, but the angle between the new xy axis according to the inclined is, what will happen to this angle? Total is 45. 45 minus 30 is, this angle is 15 degrees with y axis. What about x axis? This angle will be how much? 90 minus 15 is how much? This is 90, right? This one is 90. This y and x will be at 90 degrees. So 90 minus 45 is 80, 75 degrees. 75 degrees. Alright. Now what about this one? This force is in which quadrant now? It is in third quadrant. Now we'll try to calculate our components. How will you calculate components? This P should be this Px, this is Px, isn't it? This horizontal component should be parallel to our y axis. Now this one should be parallel to our y axis. This and this, these two lines should be parallel to each other. Next we have one more force. Which is that one more force? This is Wx and this is Wy. Similarly, this force is acting in which quadrant? It is acting in fourth quadrant, isn't it? So this is Fx and this one is Fy. Alright. Able to follow this one? Yes. So now we'll take down all the components of each force. So Px, P is equal to, either we can take this angle or this angle. This angle is with y axis 15 degrees and 75 degrees is with x axis. So I'll take the angle with x axis. Alright. So what will happen here? P is equal to, we don't know the value of P. Theta is equal to how much? Theta is 75 degrees we'll take. Okay. With x axis. Which axis? X axis. So Px is equal to P cos 75 and Py is equal to P sin 75. This is one value, we have finished. Now we'll go for the another case, that is, see here, this angle is with y axis. So either you can take with y axis or x axis. W is equal to 400 and theta is equal to how much there? 30 degrees with y axis here. So what will happen to Wx now? Wx is equal to W sin 30 degrees, whereas Wy is equal to W cos 30 degrees, isn't it? Now you will get some value for these two values, these two components. So these two components will be negative because they are in third quadrant. So Wx will get some value in negative sign and Wy negative sign. Okay. Next we have F force. Sorry, this one F is in which quadrant now? It is in fourth quadrant. Okay. So Fx is equal to the angle made by this force. See here, this is not F. This is F is equal to 600 Newton. Okay, this is F here. So Fx is equal to, angle is with x axis. So F cos 30 and Fy is equal to F sin 30. Alright. So now we can do one thing, that is sigma x is equal to 0. Sigma x, since the resultant is going in x direction. So what will happen to sigma x? Is equal to r. Okay. And sigma y is equal to 0. Now you take down all the values equated with r, you will get the value of resultant. Okay. You will get the value of P and R. So the values will be 669.2 newtons and R is 146.41. 146.41 newtons. Okay, we just have to simplify that one. We'll get two equations, two unknowns, two equations, two unknowns. So directly we can calculate the values. Okay, so till now we have completed our resultant also. Now from tomorrow onwards we'll go for moment of force. Okay, if you have any doubts, or if there is anything you don't able to understand, you could not able to understand, you can text me or write down all the things in comment section so that I can understand. Okay, anything else, any doubts also, if you have, you can text me. My number is there with you. You can send me a personal message, sir, this is not able, I could not able to understand these values, or I could not able to understand that problem, so that we can fix a meeting on Zoom or any Google Meet or any Microsoft Teams, anywhere, so that we can simplify, clarify your doubts. Okay, any doubts, anything to be cleared, you can easily text me, message me, whatever you want, you can do it to me. Okay, thank you. So for tomorrow, from next class, we'll go for moment of force. Moment of force is also very important topic. How to calculate moment, what are the importance of moments. Okay, all these things we'll see in the next class. Right, thank you.